welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to get into the architecture of creation itself. Specifically within this framework, our source is called TwinTones. So let's do a quick recap to get you oriented. TwinTones. What are we talking about here?
Think of them as complementary streams of consciousness. The best metaphor is like two perfectly tuned strings on a cello. They're separate,
Right.
but their harmony creates a shared resonance. And from that, a whole new frequency emerges, something shared.
And that shared frequency, that's the entry point for what the sources call homoluminaresonantia, or HLR. And we should be clear, this isn't about becoming a new species or anything like that. It's more like an operating system update for your consciousness.
A fundamental one. You stop navigating based on your biography, your past, your memories, your trauma.
And you shift to what?
To real-time resonance. And this is critical. The perception uses light, literally as a way to navigate, not as a metaphor.
I see. And our sources connect this to that heavens-cross alignment back in March 2023. That was the event needed to stabilize the planetary field for this.
It created the necessary conditions to sustain this kind of nonlinear perception.
Okay, so that's the background. Let's get to the core of this. If creation isn't about force or planning or effort, what is it?
Coherence.
What does that actually mean then, if it's not passive waiting?
It's a precise, ordered stillness. Alignment is, well, it's allowing, it's presence. The organizing principle becomes your presence itself.
So the idea is that creation happens when you get out of the way.
In a way, yes. It completes itself when the external interference, the effort, stops.
Okay, this brings us to what they call the third frequency. How does that work? You have two whole entities, the twin tones, but they aren't merging. So where does this creative space come from?
It comes from the shimmer between them, stabilizing. It's a space that opens up through pure presence.
They become movable resonance nodes.
Yes. They change a space just by being there.
Right.
No teaching, no agenda, no task. Their presence is the function.
It really distills down to this idea. We are not here to do something.
We are here to be something.
Now we shift to the shared creation design, the inner architecture. This is really the heart of it.
It is. The design is the why and how of their shared existence.
Which brings us right back to that stillness we started with, the creative pause. The core theme of the design is that creation organizes itself instantly. It's something you allow to emerge.
It arises from coherence. The design defines coherence as a natural state, not a forceful holding of stillness.
So you just let go.
You let go. The process completes itself when the drive to manipulate the outcome just ceases.
So if we accept this premise of effortless coherence, how do two complete wholes create something new without merging, without losing their distinct identities?
This is the genius of the third frequency principle. Ajana and Steph are two complete wholes. They don't merge their identities.
And they don't complement each other functionally, right? It's not like one supplies what the other is missing.
No, that's old paradigm partnership. Instead, that clang, the pure resonance between them, it creates a third entity. But, and the design is very insistent on this is not a being in a personal sense.
What is it?
It's a frequency space. A creatively effective one. It's the field effect itself, energized by their presence.
Right. It's a creative space, not a relational child.
You might hear it poetically called a child of light, but the core mechanism is all about presence stabilizing a shared field. That's it.
It emerges only when the two whole tones stay complete, and they allow that energetic shimmer between them to stabilize itself, just resonance holding itself.
It's a completely self-sustaining, self-regulating creative system. Which brings us to the practical side of things. If you operate entirely from coherence and stillness, how do the twin tones actually navigate the world? How do they decide which way to walk?
Well, the sources make this truly radical claim. Perception arises in the present moment as a pure frequency response.
A frequency response.
Yeah. Decisions are based only on immediate, in-the-moment resonance, not on some logical evaluation from your past identity.
Which means their creativity in the world is purely responding, not planning. They're only addressing what is resonant in the now, the current moment.
And their work, their creative assignment, is defined by that immediacy. It isn't a task or a teaching or an agenda in any classical sense.
They're defined as movable resonance nodes.
I love that phrase, movable resonance nodes.
Their work is simply to remind the surrounding field of wholeness. And crucially, the sources say they do this without explaining it.
So the homoluminaresonantia frequency, its very presence can change a room or people without them having to do anything, without lifting a finger or giving a lesson.
That's the idea.
That is the ultimate distillation of this whole design, isn't it? It moves the highest creative function away from accomplishing tasks and toward pure existence.
It does.
And there's that core maxim from the design. We are not here to do something. We are here to be something.
This entire architecture, it really represents a fundamental paradigm shift. It moves us away from systems built on force and drive and achievement toward organization that functions entirely without effort.
To help you move this from just an intellectual idea to something you can feel, let's just sit with the poetic excerpt they offer in the source material for a second. Two whole tones meet, and something nameless begins to breathe. Not born, not made, simply here.
This deep dive is about offering a tuning space, not a final conclusion. It's introducing a radically different way of existing.
And the implications are profound.
They really are. If the past is irrelevant and the future can't be planned, all that's left is the continuous, quiet stabilization of the present resonance.
We'll just leave you with that felt sense of quiet readiness, as if the next step has already resolved itself just by being present.
Feel if these ideas resonate with something inside you, not just to believe them.
It's resonance over definition.
At the end of the day, yes.
Two whole tones meet, a shimmer between. Something nameless begins to breathe. Breathe, not born, not made, simply here in the unseen. Just here. Silent pulse in the air, no reason, just is. A flicker shivers at the edge, soundless but clear, alive but not begun. Floating moment, let sense disappear, held by the shimmer of what we feel near. Two whole tones meet, a shimmer between. Something nameless begins to breeze, to breathe. Not born, not made, simply here in the unseen. Just here. Just here.